From the 4B studios in the heart of downtown Rochester, New York, this is Three Brothers and a Bill. And now, here's Tommy.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Chris, my little brother.
Good morning.
Good morning, Michael, my older brother.
Good morning, sir.
And my brother from a different mother, Bill.
Good morning, Tommy. Ho, ho, ho.
Coming up on today's show, Thumping Glenn Youngkin, the Republican governor-elect in the state of Virginia, wins big, and Christmas comes early at the border. Today on Three Brothers and a Bill. Woo! Welcome back, folks. The first show of season 2 of Three Brothers and a Bill. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome.
Welcome. Glad to be back.
All right, man. Some great news to go over today in the show. All kinds of great entertainment. The Atlanta Braves winning the World Series. Just outstanding stuff. Youngkin winning the governorship there in the state of Virginia, which is outstanding.
I've been in mourning since.
Come on, you didn't like that jerk.
Well, he didn't win. It was 48 versus like 52. It wasn't like a resounding. It wasn't like he pounded him into the ground.
Hey,
But Biden did win the state of Virginia by 10 points.
Okay.
So that's the only thing. And as we may know, that Terry McAuliffe is actually a Syracuse, New York native.
Yes, he is.
Really?
And a
double
big ally.
to stay in Virginia.
Yeah.
Double depression.
The thing is, they needed somebody. It's almost like they scraped up. Who can we run for governor? What is this? And he made the most serious political mistake that a guy of his tenure should never. He had signs where he said, "Parents, get out of the classroom. You should not have any involvement in school."
This is Mr. McAuliffe, did they?
Yes.
It basically, and even the paper I like, New York Times, they said that's why he lost, and he probably did.
Yeah. Plus, the other thing is, okay, you can only beat on Donald Trump so long. Okay,
Right.
He's out of office. You got to go forward from here. Maybe you don't like. Oh, okay, leave. Whatever.
Gentlemen, didn't he also have pictures of him? I don't know if it was in college in blackface.
Of McAuliffe, that I don't know.
On that, I thought I
But he did make his campaign centered on parents because they're yelling and threatening school board members. Which
that's the Marxist way.
But he's telling
the state has the right to say everything.
So
The state.
that you don't tell people. You just don't tell parents stay out of your kid's school.
Got 2 words for you, Governor, on your way out. F you.
Well, you know what? He'll
smart.
probably, Biden can find some place for him, the ambassadorship to.
They need
he
someone
will
to
get
clean the
something.
toilets at the White House.
Well,
so,
but that's again.
pine sol and some bleach.
The other issue is that we're facing in this country very high prices for things. Inflation's kicking in. We're now coming out of COVID, but jobs are going begging. It's a very weird time because it's not like we don't have high unemployment. We have high gas prices.
Okay.
People are worried about getting stuff for Christmas. It's a very weird time.
And I'm going to piss off a lot of people here on this one, but this is the truth. Once that unemployment all ended around Labor Day, right?
Right.
Oh, I figure, boy, people should be going back to jobs will be all taken
Exactly.
care of.
Yes.
It's not happening, guys. They're
Yeah.
hiring everywhere still. So, so where are these people? Did they all die?
Well,
Did the COVID kill them all?
I
or did all that money that took all these stimulus programs and have been now divvied up to each city location? They're giving that money out individually, who they want to. And I hate to say who it is. It ain't white males.
Oh, okay. All right.
Unless you got some
with
big
that,
connections.
with that, let's just steer away from any kind of
Hey,
racial,
I'm just telling you.
whatever.
Hey,
What I am
I've tried
saying
for
is,
these things, and they actually say we're handing. Basically, it goes on your zip code and blah 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 blah. In other words, if you're not black, Latino, female, some kind of minority, which I believe the only thing that's not a minority is a straight white male.
okay.
I think.
Well,
Is that the only non-minority now?
Okay.
Honestly, I don't.
Can I join the
I honestly, I don't
I'm
think.
sorry, I can't see all those letters.
I can't say
I
that
dig
it's that this money is now re-emerging and going to
Well, then
certain
where's
challenged
everybody?
minority.
There's no unemployment.
A lot of people who are my age or getting to our age are simply saying, look, maybe they packed the money away, or maybe they simply said, the hell with it, I don't want to work anymore. They've scraped enough money to be able to retire. All the boomers who were like saying, the hell with it.
There
That
are things, let's face facts. A lot of kids, maybe 20, 30-year-olds, are back with mom and dad.
Yeah.
So they're not paying rent. Maybe they don't even have a car payment. A lot of kids don't have it.
No, but it's...
Well, you can't get them now.
But
Well, that's true,
honestly,
too.
Tommy, I have the exact same thought. okay, so there are a bunch of people working. Okay, they got downsized, right-sized, outsized, whatever. Where did everybody go? It's almost like like a quarter of the population just went away.
The reason
we need to hire
the
people.
reason I'm bringing this up, though, guys, because
Yes,
I drive by
yes.
a lot of the factories there on Mount Reed Boulevard here in the city of Rochester, where the old Kodak, Delco.
Are there
General
still
Motors.
factories in?
Well, there's obviously much smaller, but all of these more the tool and die places and the specialized precision glass grinding. What I'm not sure what
Right,
they're
right.
called. They have signs hiring. They're hiring people. Those are,
Yeah.
We're not talking
The only problem
we're
is
not
that-
talking rake and leave, sir, folks.
Yeah.
These are decent jobs with
Yeah.
decent benefits.
I mean, I've seen that as well. Actually, for part of work, I go to York, PA, where there's a Harley Davidson plant.
Yes.
They actually had a billboard. Harley Davidson was actually advertising
Wow.
for people to work there. I think they started you at
Harley
20.
is still selling motorcycles at 15 or 20 or 30 grand a
Oh,
piece.
yeah, they're 20.
Well, you
30.
get them for cost when you're an employer.
But
you used to.
See what
That's
we,
union too. by
What
the way.
we should do
Thank
because
God.
colleges are so expensive, and there should be a concerted effort by school districts, interesting enough, to help young people who don't want to go to school. Let's match them up with these jobs.
It's they used to just concentrate on what you really wanted to learn, and then obviously you got to hate the Bible, hate the Constitution. But now you got to hate the Bible, hate the Constitution, and be scared to death of everything. These poor children, they're scared to death.
Well-
Scared to death. These poor. Kids.
I don't think kids are being taught.
No.
Oh, sure they are.
No, that's not
Oh, sure
true.
they are.
That
Come
is
on
not
now.
true.
Come on. now.
Tommy,
That is
Not every college.
If they were being taught about a book, I'd be very impressed anyway. So I don't care what book it is.
Hey, I
Well,
got that
Tommy,
book on
but you know
JC.
what?
That's a
Honestly,
great book.
Tommy, even centuries ago when we went to college, I actually literally got in an argument with a women's studies professor who literally for the better part of the bulk of the class, we argued about self-defense for women. His argument was, well, you'd be better off with a baseball bat. And I'm like, no, you'd be better off with a gun because the guy can grab the baseball bat on your hands.
Hey,
But they're not
a bat's a
likely
great
to.
weapon.
There you go.
Louisville
But
Slugger, baby.
It's a great weapon in the hands of a dude like your size. But most women are probably not. The average woman might be a bit more petite. And there are quite plenty of women who got plenty of muscle who beat me to a pulp with a baseball bat. But I think you'd be better off saying, dude, stay over there. You get within 6 feet of me, I'm going to start making holes in your carcass until, the gun runs out of ammo.
All right, but let's look at sadly.
Well, how do we get on shooting people here, Bill?
Even
You gotta
at
calm down, brother.
All we can say is give peace a chance.
No, that wasn't me.
That's a Smith & Wesson, a piece
going
of
going
Smith
back
&
to
Wesson.
wages and going back to the jobs.
Yes,
So
yes.
you're making 15, let's say to Harley Davidson's $22 an hour. Okay, you're making $18 an hour. Can you afford rent? Can you afford a car?
Well, not in New York City, no.
No, but
Really?
even up,
Maybe-
even up
Can you
here,
afford rents in
Yeah, but
Rochester?
even-
even up here, rents are expensive.
So what do you
Rents have
decide?
gotten out of control, guys. They really
Okay,
have.
so you're asking people to make that money, and then okay, so where do I live? Oh, under the bridge because that's all I can afford. So I live with mom and dad, and so maybe I don't work. Maybe they just give me an allowance. I don't know, and that's the problem. Now it's not business's fault. I mean, how much can they pay?
Well,
I
you know what,
understand.
Mike? Interesting subject that you're talking about there because there are smaller families nowadays. Most people have one, maybe two children.
True,
Where
true.
like when we had four, most there's 3, 4, 5, 6. There's only 1 or 2 kids. Hey, I can swing. Yeah, come on, live home.
oh yeah, I mean, a lot of
Do
parents are going to be
something.
like, "Hey, come back. You're going to spend like my buddy in Boston right now. He's sort of leaving Boston. His rent, and it's not a great place because he told me, oh yeah, there's a murder down the hall. $2,000 a month.
All right, so you're making $20 an hour. You're not going to spend $2,000 a month. You're going to have to spend $1,000 a month, $900, and you're probably in an area that you probably can't leave your apartment even to go to work because.
That's why I'm going to live in one of your basements going forward.
Now, I don't know what the answer is necessarily, but I mean, if we focus on people need something. Now, what I would do is one thing they really can't afford if they're trying to pay for everything else, healthcare. Now, you're young and healthy. Let's at least give people healthcare. Then maybe they
I
can
agree.
make the adjustment to work. Okay, I'm making $20 an hour, or $15 an hour. The rent's pretty tough, but at least I don't have to try to pay for a hospital bill or something because I broke my leg.
There was a gentleman at our niece's wedding at the Ritz-Carlton in Florida over.
Are you name dropping?
Yeah, why not? Last week, and this gentleman at the bar was from Canada, from Toronto, Canada, and him and I were talking. He happens to own a landscaping company, like a design company that actually designs plans for landscapes. And him and I were talking. We were talking about Trudeau out there, and I said, well, what are your thoughts about Trudeau?
Yeah.
Not too many things. Not too many positive things to say about that. But I did ask him about the health care. And he did say that there are some good things about it, but he says there are also some bad things about it, and that is the time that it takes to see a doctor if you need something done. And that's why a lot of people cross the border and come to the United States to get a procedure done with speed. That's
we
the
are
problem.
very spoiled in this country. Yes, it costs a lot for healthcare. You need an MRI tomorrow,
Yeah.
you'll get an MRI.
Well, whoa, Bill. You will get an MRI.
The Yankees will get one.
if
The baseball athletes
you
will
have
get
the insurance to pay for it.
Well, or
if you don't
you-
have
If you
insurance
don't have
and the
insurance,
dollars,
they won't do it.
No, they'll do it. You just have to put it in the credit card. Yes, you do need to have insurance.
because there's something, and George W. Bush, the brain trust that he was,
Are we speaking senior or junior?
the junior,
Shrub, okay.
that used to say that, well, anybody can go, everyone has health care, they just go to emergency. Well, anyone can go to emergency. However, all emergency rooms across the U.S., all they have to do is stabilize you. So you could be having a heart attack. So long as they just stabilize you, give you some aspirin, they can kick you out the door the next minute. So,
Which is what they did to Daniel Pruitt here
Yes.
when he was picked up on the psychiatric hold.
you
there
do
in
not
Slough.
have health care. And while, yes, are there situations where you may have to wait if it's not urgent? Of course. But you don't have to worry about if I go into the hospital with some operation that's $200,000.
To be bankrupt?
They give you a bill and say, by the way, you owe this or we're taking your house.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
but part of it is also that they have been using the U.S. as sort of like I wouldn't say thing of last resort, but they will send people down here because we have many more of these types of resources. Like, oh, okay, you need to have this done immediately. Well, if you're in Windsor, cross the bridge into Detroit or go into Buffalo or go,
Bill,
wherever.
I'm sure that's true. But the thing is, you know what? And again, it's a little bit off topic, guys. But there was something, I think it was on 60 Minutes, where Thailand, I think, has these hospitals where you can get like open heart surgery for $10,000.
Yes,
It's like
yeah.
dirt cheap.
Yep.
So Americans are flying there
Yes.
to get these
There
major
was
operations.
a guy I used to work with at MVP who actually was starting to do that. He actually was going to be selling essentially cheap operations. It was like if you needed this procedure, it would cost you X amount of money here. You would literally fly someplace else in very nice clinic. I mean, it's like you're waiting on hand and foot, but you're going someplace else. Biden's over at the climate change stuff. Okay, fine. But we got problems here, and we're going to be going to war with China at some point. You need to get this country ready for that happening. That's
Well, guys, we can do both, though. I mean, the storms that we've had the last couple of years and the flooding, et cetera. I mean, things are abnormal. Hell, even the Pentagon.
You know what I thought was abnormal? A thing called the Ice Age.
Well, was
Was that abnormal? I don't
Honestly,
think that was screwy.
Tommy,
Where we are right now was a freaking ice glacier, dude.
okay,
Was that abnormal?
Well,
Anyone?
okay. Here,
I agree, Tom.
Yep. Here's the thing. I will say there must be something going on because right now, yesterday, Tuesday, I voted in Waterloo, and I'm like, I drive past this little park that we launched the boat and that stuff, and I'm like driving past the lawn. I'm like, oh my God, there's water on the lawn. The canal is so high. One of the guys I went to high school with, he owns a marina. They had a picture in the paper, the sign that shows the gas thing. The water is over the top of the dock. I'm like, this is November.
Sometimes it rains a lot.
That's
Tommy,
true.
I have never in the 60 years I have been living around the Finger Lakes seen that high water
Sometimes
in the fall.
things happen.
Not once in a
Hey,
lifetime,
Bill, I can
twice in a
recite
lifetime.
my family talking about in the 60s that we had snow in
Yeah, it
Webster,
was up to
New
the
York.
top of the garage.
It was
When
about,
was this?
8 feet or 7 feet high, and it was in the 60s. This
True,
happened.
okay, but here's the thing. It's just that the climate's going up and down. Unfortunately, the people who are really worried about it are the Europeans. They're already doing it. It's India. It's China. It's the people burning the coal. The people who are like dumping trash in the ocean.
Hey, how about the 4,000 gallons of jet fuel that these people take in those jets to go to these meetings? Is that count for?
Well
Is that
said,
bad?
Tommy. Well
'Cause
said.
that's about what they use, 4,000 gallons of jet fuel. I don't even know how many pollutants are in the air from that thing.
Right.
But each one of these, and they all have to take their own jet. They can't fly together. They're too goddamn important. They have to take their own jet, and they take up a whole goddamn airport, these rich mother effers.
Well, these
You
are
know?
politics. I mean, we could
Come
do
on.
both. We still could do
Hitch a
something
ride.
about lowering pollution and dealing with climate change as much as we can. I know there are limitations to
Tommy,
what we can.
it is
Yeah,
imp-
let's not
it-
throw garbage out the window.
It is
Yeah,
important
cars,
to me
you know.
that I can go to Aldi and I can buy lamb chops from Australia that are probably freshly flown over
I
from
love
Australia.
lamb chops.
I think it's important that we put those lamb chops on a jet and fly them into the U.S. I want those fresh lamb chops at
Hold
Aldi,
on.
and I don't want to pay too
Don't
much.
compare food to climate change because that's a losing battle, dude.
This has been Three Brothers and a Bill. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on Three Brothers and a Bill.